Hi there, Serial Trader here. I want to do an update on Bitcoin and actually Ethereum as well. Now, just to kind of make a big picture, and that's what this update will focus on, is kind of the big picture view here. Uh, I think we're in this large fourth wave that's matching up with the second wave that we had. So on Bitcoin, we had this impulse wave from the December 18 lows to the June of 19 highs, and then we had a big wave 2 correction of that into the March 2020 lows. Now this is all in log scale, of course. If you don't have in log scale, things look pretty wacky when things can move to this extent. So hence the log scale to bring it all into focus. Okay, and then we had the big wave 3 up into the April of 2021 highs. Now we've been in a corrective phase ever since then, despite making a marginal new high here in November of 21. I believe that was just a three-wave move up, to a B wave marginal higher high in what to me is shaping up to be a running triangle. So let's just focus in a bit here on the pattern at hand. So we got A, B, C. I think we have the D wave in now. Now I think we've begun the E wave. Okay. So when will this wave 4 actually complete? Can we get an idea of that? Well, I think we can get an idea of it. So here we have the time consumed in wave 2, projected off of wave 3. So we've already well past the equality relationship between wave 2 and 4 as far as time consumed. Now I think an interesting relationship would be the 1.618, and that's where wave 4 consumes 1.618 times the amount of time that wave 2 consumed. And particularly since it looks like we're in a triangle, it's actually nice that the triangle consumes more time and frustrates more people. That's really the personality of that pattern. So the 1.618 time relationship brings us to early June. Okay, so that means we might have a couple more months here of choppy action, which actually fits quite well with the idea that we're in the potential E wave of this wave 4. Now if I go on the daily chart, we can get out a log here on the daily chart. If I go on the daily chart, it looks like maybe we have the A wave of the E complete or nearly complete, and then we'll need a kind of choppy sideways B wave and then one more wave down to scare everyone. But it should make a higher low above the C wave low, so it should find a low above this 32,937. Just we'll call it basically 33,000, just under 33,000. And then at that point, if we have a nice three-wave decline to a higher low, I think I'll be pretty confident that the E wave is in place, especially if we get close to around this June time frame. Also, if we just take the time consumed in the D wave, if E is just basically equal to the time consumed in D, which it doesn't have to be, but just for some proportion, to get an idea, that would also bring us to around, the end of May. So again, end of May, early June. To me, that's a nice kind of time zone for us to be looking for this E wave to complete. And it does look like we've had some sort of impulse wave down here, which I think fits well for A of the triangle. Now again, could be a little more, but it might already be in place. And then we're looking for a partial retracement, choppy sideways, one more leg down. Okay, you get the idea. Now back to here on the weekly view. So okay, once we get to that point, so we're not there yet. So as far as a trade goes, there's no trade yet. It's still a great time to be just longer term accumulating Bitcoin for what we consider to be the big run up here in wave 5 once we complete the wave 4 triangle. But for me, if I see this, if I see this three-way move down for this wave 4 to a higher low, right here is where I want to be buying up a lot of what I think I'll be doing is BITO, that Bitcoin ETF, futures ETF. I'll be buying a whole bunch of call options in that, positioning for this expected wave 5 up. And, I'm thinking well over 100K, probably around 140K or so. Again, once the E wave is actually secured, we can start doing some measurements, but just off of kind of guesstimating where that'll happen in measurements, around 140K or so is a pretty decent target to the upside. And that's just basically where wave 1 would equal wave 5, since wave 3 was by far the longest wave in the sequence. You'd look for wave 1 versus 5 equality, and that would be around that 140k mark, give or take, depending where where the E wave of this triangle completes, right? Okay, so that's Bitcoin. So I think I've explained myself quite reasonably there. So again, yeah, it could be even, several weeks or, a couple months or whatever of more choppy sideways BS until we finally get a secure completion of this pattern. And then we'd be looking for that, strong impulse wave out of that to signal that we're there. Again, none of this has happened yet. We're still just chopping sideways, but to me, it's hard to call triangle early on, but now that we've had this much development, I'm pretty confident leaning on this being a running triangle wave 4 for Bitcoin. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum is very similar, okay? So on Ethereum, we also have this wave 1 and wave 2, and then the wave 3, of course. Now, I think Ethereum is also doing a running triangle. And I think within that running triangle, Ethereum has also done its D wave, and we're now in the earlier stages of the E wave. So same idea as Bitcoin. But then again, for upward targets, I'm thinking, somewhere, well, okay. If we take the length of the 1, now let me just drag this over here. And let's just guess, kind of guesstimate where the E wave would end. For wave 4, and then we got the equality relationship, and what level does that get us to? Well, okay, over 10,000. That's like almost 12,000. So yeah, I'm thinking 10,000 plus for Ethereum on this wave 5 target once we actually start thrusting out this triangle. So the big move is yet to come. Probably a lot of people are bored or frustrated by crypto, and I'm focusing mostly on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but there's lots of other coins in similar consolidation kind of phases. But, these two are by far the most important as far as charting them and leading the market. I'm thinking this big move is going to come. Now, it's not going to surprise everyone. There's still a lot of people that are longer term bullish on crypto, but I think from a, positional or trading standpoint, this is going to shock a lot of people that have kind of lost their faith or confidence in any kind of major upside to be had here. I think it's definitely setting up for the big run, okay? So I just wanted to give a heads up well ahead of time. Again, not seeing the, certainly for a longer term, accumulating aspect of things, certainly fine to be still buying and averaging in here, but as far as like nailing that entry before the big run starts, don't think we're quite there yet, but not too much longer. Couple months or so is what I'm thinking with that. All right. Well, that's all I really wanted to go through today. But yeah, basically bottom line, getting closer to finishing this big triangle in both Ethereum and Bitcoin. And once we get closer to that, I'll probably do another video, discussing more aggressive entries and positions once things look like they're ready to lift. They're ready to lift off. All right, Serial Trader signing off.